Dino Crisis from the folks at Capcom Production Studio 4 was released on the PS1 in 1999 and then the dreamy Sega Dreamcast in the year 2000. Directed by Shinji Mikami, Mikami stated he wanted to take the series he has been working on, Resident Evil, and inject his influences of Jurassic Park and Aliens.
Oh, there it is.
Brandon Dino Crisis as panic horror rather than survival horror, where the dinosaurs pose a much bigger threat than your slow, dumb zombies. These clever girls will track you down from room to room. So when it comes down to it, all these years later, is Dino Crisis a well-preserved fossil, or has it decomposed with the times? Well, let's put it this way. Dino Crisis is dynamite.
Let's move out.
What about Cooper?
The game takes place in a research facility located on Ibis Island. Our protagonist, Regina, and the rest of the secret operation raid team are sent in to take Dr. Edward Kirk, who is believed dead, into custody after learning from an inside man that he was very much alive and leading a secret weapon project. When they arrive, it doesn't take long for shit to hit the fan. A team member is already missing.
Sarah! 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 Sarah Harding!
How many Sarahs do you think are on this island?
And they'll come to find that the place is crawling with dinosaurs. And it appears that the faculty are all but extinct.
That's disgusting.
This guy's been eviscerated. Something tore his intestines straight out.
Look at those tooth marks. It had to be some sort of animal.
The gameplay here is very reminiscent of the old Resident Evils with some interesting changes. One thing that isn't different though are the good old tank controls, which might turn some off, but personally, for me, I don't have any issue with them. A new game could come out tomorrow with tank controls and I'd be A-okay, but your mileage may vary. Where the game really shakes things up though is the kind of equipment you'll have at your disposal and the nature of the game's enemies. As you make your way through the facility, you're given a number of weapons to defend yourself, and they have upgrades scattered about. You have a pistol, a shotgun, and eventually a grenade launcher, but I find the best weapon hands down has to be the shotgun because of a variety of ammo types at your disposal here. In addition to shotgun shells, you can equip darts to immobilize any raptors in your way. Very handy because these girls are smart, fast, and can take a lot of ammunition to take down. And they'll even play dead, which means they'll come back to bite you if you're not careful. The survival element is very much alive because the ammunition and health packs are scarce. But this game has an interesting system for crafting items with a lot of different combinations. You can mix items to either multiply them in number or increase their strength. This applies to health items as well as darts. The game gives you 5 continues on the normal difficulty, and it can be quite difficult. But there's also a checkpoint system in the form of resuscitation kits. If you're killed with one of these on hand, it won't spell game over for you. Instead, it'll put you back into the previous room that you entered from, which is pretty generous. On that note, there are no typewriters, but there are a few save rooms found within the facility, as well as emergency plug boxes that you can unlock, as long as you got the plugs. Green ones will supply you with medical supplies, and red ones with ammunition. And you can find the plugs for these all scattered about on shelves, lockers, behind boxes, and the usual sort of places you'd expect to find these type of things.
Key check space minus O, key checks off, safety space minus O. He's turning the safety systems off. He doesn't want anybody to see what he's about to do. Now, look at this next entry. It's the kicker. White rabbit object. Whatever it did it all. But with the key checks off, the computer didn't file the keystroke, so the only way to find them now is to go through the computer's lines of code one by one.
You'll find a lot of documents as well containing information like passcodes and so forth to unlock doors and solve creative puzzles. You can't hold on to these documents though, so if you're like me, you should have a notepad ready to write down any important information. And boy, do these puzzles get crazier and crazier. Now I'm what they call a puzzle god, and by that I mean I'm dreadful at puzzles. So these puzzles here really started to rack my brain towards the end.
Access main program. Access main security. Access main program grid.
You didn't say the magic word.
Please!
Naturally, the visuals are a bit rough around the edges by today's standard, especially if you're playing the PS1 version. Here on the Dreamcast version, the difference isn't as big as something like RE2, but the jaggy pixelated visuals have been smoothed out a little bit. The sound effects and the sounds emitted from the dinosaurs are on point though, as is the music and the ambiance. They are also great, always giving you a sense of the impending threat, leaving you in suspense.
Anybody hear that? It's an impact tremor is what it is. I'm fairly alarmed here.
But Gina, what happened? The emergency lock on the second floor's just been activated.
I'm a bit busy right now. Do something about it.
Don't sweat it. I'll release the lock.
Going back and playing Dino Crisis was a real treat. The visuals might be prehistoric, especially those goofy looking 3D cutscenes. Those are a sight for sore eyes. Get it? Sore? Sore eyes? But never once did it take me out of the experience, and the gameplay holds up extremely well, as long as you're okay with tank controls. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. If you are okay with them though, Dino Crisis is still a fun, action horror thrill ride that's worth revisiting or playing for the first time if you're new to the series. It might not be as creepy as the Haunted Mansion or a police station filled with zombies, but it definitely has the tension to put you on edge while you got a velociraptor on your ass looking to make you his hot lunch. The game also has multiple endings based on the decisions you make with your squad mates during the game, which adds to the replayability on top of unlockable costumes. It's a solid story too with some good characters, so you're in for a ravaging good time. Alright, thanks for watching this review, and if you liked it, why not help preserve this channel by excavating some likes and comments, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more, because I got a bunch of reviews planned among other things. In the coming weeks we got some more Mega Man, and given that September is the month of the Dreamcast, we got some more Dreamcast coming up, and of course, with October looming, we got some more Capcom-y horror-themed games lined up as well. With all that said, until next time, this is DenDen, signing off.